All right, folks, this is probably the least hot take that I'm going to have in this entire 30 days. But Fallout New Vegas is a biblical experience, and I'm going to tell you why. And for those of you who haven't played it yet, this video will be to tell you not just why this is the best game, but why I am so confident in Obsidian's take on the franchise that I really do think it's going to make big waves for Xbox. Because if you hadn't heard, Obsidian is developing the next Fallout game. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. It's so refreshing to me that Asha Sharma literally walked into Bethesda and was like, "Are you making a new Fallout game?" And they were like, "We're making Fallout 76." And she said, "Okay, Obsidian's making the next one. Focus on Elder Scrolls." It just makes sense. So Fallout New Vegas. What's so special about Fallout New Vegas? This game is special because this is a fully immersive experience that really, understands how to tie you to your player character in a way that the other Fallout games that aren't named Fallout 1 and 2 just can't. Fallout 3 and 4, I don't think are bad games. I think they're quite good, actually. But they're not Fallout New Vegas. And today I feel that I need to really clarify where the gap in this really comes from. Why is this the one that makes it so easy to connect to your character, makes it so unique, and makes every playthrough just feel holy? And the first point, I should say, is that the writing is just good. If you look at Fallout 3 and 4, there are a lot of examples where the writing is not very good. The writing is just binary choices. It is stuff that is an interesting idea that's not really fleshed out very much. And it doesn't really work. Whereas Fallout New Vegas, while not every thread or every plot point is automatically gold, it does so much with them to make them feel so realistic and make them feel so influenced by the world around them. Patrolling the Mojave really makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Stuff like that. Like, as much as we meme on that now, that is a very good line. Because the Mojave sucks currently, and this is before we get bombed to hell. But other things like your choices that you can have, the way that there's so many different endings that make a lot of sense, not just in the way that you chose a side, but also understanding the politics of the world and understanding that the world is moving forward again, which means that politics are a thing again. And the way that the NCR and the Legion and Mr. House and all of these little gangs all around, the way that they all interact with each other can be totally different based on how you understand their politics and how you choose to connect them. There's not another game that does that in Fallout. There's just not. Because Fallout 3's endings are sacrifice yourself for the good reason or for the bad reason. Or ask the mutant to do it, and then he says no. Which, yes, I know Broken Steel is like kind of fixed, but like it's just like it's almost hilarious that they included that to begin with. And New Vegas would never do something so stupid like that. There's no writing anywhere near that stupid. But it even immerses you in terms of some of the holo diaries that you find too. My particular favorite line is from Honest Hearts, which is my favorite DLC as well. It's my favorite DLC of all of the New Vegas DLCs, and probably my favorite bit of Fallout content in the entire series because of, is it Joseph? It's been a little bit since I've played it. Randall Clark. So Randall Clark, if you haven't read all of the diaries that Randall Clark leaves throughout Zion, oh my God, the journey that takes you on and the way that he shapes the narrative of the entire area, and when it comes to finally finding him, like, that was the moment where I sat back and I said, this is special. This is really special. It sticks with me. And I forgot his name because, again, it's been 2 years since my last playthrough. But I don't forget it. And I don't forget the effects that it's had, especially as someone who is now a father. And I don't know what I would do in that position. There's just nothing else like that. And all of that matters just as much as your character choices matter. And I don't just mean the choices your character make, but actually the way you build your character makes a big difference too. Because again, they really looked at how the traits interact with your character. They really looked at how the perks functioned. They understood things like real DPS. And now all of a sudden, all your character builds actually do cool things. If you've never tried a maximum luck critical hit build, oh my god, it's so fun. So you're literally just popping heads left and right. It's incredible. And the fact that you can do that kind of stuff, whereas when you look at builds in Fallout 4 where it's like, it kind of does the same thing. Very different. Very, very different. This is part of what connects you to your character. That, along with specific dialogue choices being locked behind higher or lower stats, like having lower intelligence means that you have specific dialogue choices that tie to lower intelligence. Genius. Genius. This is part of why people love this game, because their characters feel like their characters. They don't feel like a stand-in that you can kind of change some things around on. They are your character. And the way that you build them changes the way you interact with the world, and it changes the way you interact with combat as well. So it makes it fascinating to go back in for repeat playthroughs, to see not just what you missed in terms of story writing, but also in terms of just how different each character plays from each other. It's incredible. And lastly, this game features genuine exploration. I'm a big purveyor of not level matching the player character for different environments. I think that's the worst decision you can make for an open world game, because the sense of progression that comes from an open world can be so unique, but only if there are specific elements of the world that you're not supposed to be in at certain times. And not because there's a wall that says this is where the barrier is, like in Halo Campaign Evolved. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm going to dig on that game for every time I get a comment on someone telling me I'm being unfair to it. I got one on the Switch video, so this is for that guy who was like, Star Fox did the same thing that Halo did. No. Come on, dude. No. This is where, when you're exploring, you can come upon the quarry. The quarry is probably the most well-known part here. So technically, your first quest, you can go from Goodsprings and you can just go north, right? And you can go straight to the strip if you want. That said, if you do that, you have to go through the quarry. And the quarry, if you've never played the game before, this is like very, very light spoilers. The quarry is full of something called Deathclaws. Their name it's a good name. It's a really good name. It's a good name for those. And they're serious. And there's a mother Deathclaw, there's alpha Deathclaws, like it is full of Deathclaws. And they even tell you as you're walking through, like, whoa, buddy. Pal, dude. Don't go in there. There's a bunch of Deathclaws. And you're like, whatever. Especially if you played Fallout 4, you're like, the game will just give me a minigun and will give me armor and I'll be fine. No, they'll melt you. They'll rip you to shreds. And that's kind of the way the game's way of being like, you have to go around through Prim and Novak and you need to start doing all those things, and that's really endemic exploration. However, you can get through the quarry if you're a badass or you have a good stealth build. Like, you can just kind of go through when you're ready. That's really cool. That's very endemic. It gives you a lot of opportunities to have a very different playthrough each time. So maybe your first playthrough, you're like, yeah, I'll skip the quarry because I don't really want to fight 30 Deathclaws. But then your next playthrough, you're like, I have a sniper rifle. I have high crit chance. We're good. That's what I did on my second playthrough. Or you can sneak through. You can get some stealth boys. There's probably other ways to deal with them too that I'm not really familiar with. That little area makes such a big difference in terms of the experience that you're having in the game. And I just can't believe that we haven't figured that out since. I really can't. I really can't believe that Fallout 4's answer to the Deathclaw quarry was to give you power armor and a minigun and say, all right, you got it, champ. Go have that set piece. I don't like that. That's a jumping the shark moment for me. I will defend Fallout 4 because I do think it's a quality game, but I do not like that moment versus what we got here. And if you're ever wondering, why do people feverishly defend this game? It's because of those 3 points. There's a lot more I could get into. The DLC is all great, except for, I'll be honest with you, I think Lonesome Road's pretty weak. I do. I think it's very heavy-handed. It's clearly unfinished. It was clearly rushed. But, like, it's not the worst, you know? It's not any worse than, like, Mothership Zeta. But, man, New Vegas. What a game. Do you agree with me? Is there something about New Vegas that you love that I missed? Please leave it in the comments below. And this is day 29, folks. We're on day 29 of 30 days of posting. What a ride it's been. One more day to go. Tomorrow's video, I think, is going to be a heater. It's one I've thought about for a little bit. If you would like to support the channel, subscription always helps. But also, please check out my playlist of my other videos. You can see me grow as a storyteller, as a YouTuber throughout those 30 days. I've got other videos too. They're good. But this whole journey has been awesome. And I've gotten to talk about a lot of things that I don't think would ever really fit in videos. And I've got a lot more to go. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go play Fallout New Vegas, because just talking about it made me water at the mouth thinking about playing it again. Off we go.